And we are back for the third week of August. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. I am your host, John Murray.
I'm your co-host, Jeremy Fairhurst.
And this is the JMA Podcast. Tonight on JMA Podcast, episode 331, we are joined by Tarnia Mann for a conversation about her introduction to Jiu-Jitsu as well as her development within the New York City training scene. Her profile lists her as a New York and New Jersey athlete with 10th Planet New York City and CULTR Fight Club. Guys, without further ado, we have some upcoming streams first. I almost forgot. MMA Brain on Mondays, that has been expanded. We will be also running that tomorrow as well, where you can get fight predictions. And Mondays on, you can get recaps. Jeremy does a real good job with that. You guys make sure to check that out.
Yeah. So basically, I decided instead of bugging you guys for both events in one day, I would bug you on two separate days. You have to hear me twice a week instead of one, and that way you'll get a little bit more of a focused podcast on both. It's going to be a lot of fun. So the MMA Brain stuff, it's been growing more and more over the last few weeks. More people are tuned in, whether the picks are correct or not. But it's definitely a good time, so I'm enjoying it.
They've definitely been getting a little more accurate, I think. But guys, you can also check out Oswego Jiu-Jitsu Superfights, October 24th. Make sure you register to compete today. That is available on Smooth Comp, as well as by reaching out to Oswego Jiu-Jitsu directly on Instagram. Make sure you also check out JMurrayAthletics. We have Serenity on the Trails coming up this weekend. Following weekend, we will be at Hammer Challenge Series. And don't forget to check out the Donnie Brooks Fight Promotions Press Conference, August 30th. Guys, without further ado, let's bring our guest onto the stage. Tarnia, thank you for being here today.
Thank you. I'm excited. You want me
Absolutely. So we met at, I want to say, Chronic Combat. It was their event in May. You were the co-commentary with, hold on, it'll come to me. Is it Grappling TV?
Yeah, it was Grappling TV. Yes, that's correct. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You're good.
I was just gonna say, like, that was a very random kind of, like, side quest that I did. I don't think I'm, like, super qualified to be commentating, but I was supposed to fight at it, but I think they, like, couldn't find me an opponent or something like that. And I'm good friends with Alex, who, like, he's the MC, and obviously, like, I train with him at 10 Planet. I was like, Alex, haha, how funny would it be, like, haha, if I, like, commentated at the event? And he's like, oh yeah, sure, go ahead. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool, like, screw it, let's do it.
It's funny you say that it was one of those last minute things, because Alex hit me up at like 11 in the morning. I'm upstate, like 3 hours north of New York City. So when he hit me up, it was one of those things where, like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make that, bro.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because you don't have the luxury of, like, taking the subway and stuff like that, right?
No, God, no, definitely not from where we're at. They were talking about putting an MTA up to Albany, but, like, then Amtrak was like, nah, fuck that shit. You can't do that.
Yeah.
No, because like
it was like amazing.
I remember showing up. You were on commentary, and then we had switched back and forth. What was it like for your first time doing commentary?
I mean, it was pretty fun. I don't know. I was kind of, like, nervous at first because I was like, oh my god, like, a bunch of people are, like, watching this, and, you know, I've only been training jiu-jitsu, and really, like, my knowledge of combat sports extends to how long I've been training. Like, before I started training, I did not know anything about combat sports at all. Yeah, so I was kind of nervous because of that. Because I was like, I haven't been doing this for very long. Like, they're gonna, like, do things, and I'm like not gonna know what it is, or like I'm gonna be like, oh, they're like a little pretzel or like something like that. Like I don't know, like I was like nervous in that sense.
Was there a trick you found that to help yourself walk through that, or what was the mental process through that moment?
Yeah. Well, obviously with like, the more I was like doing it and talking and just like getting comfortable just with like being in the chair and being on camera, and also just feeling comfortable in my space and environment, like the easier it was for me to speak on it. And also I chugged an entire Red Bull. So that definitely helped out the process for me, because yeah, I really, I'm nervous. I just, on camera doing things, it's kind of like a thing that I do. I don't know.
I get it. I normally chug the White
Hey.
Claw, not the White Claws. Jeez, I can't chug those when I'm driving. The White Monsters are like my go-to for anxiety when I'm driving. So like I'll go through like two, 3 of those, just to kind of ease the whole situation.
Yeah, I'm not a caffeine like energy drink guy, but I've got my boron. I've got my Dr. Pepper cream soda. That's my cream soda in general is much the worst unhealthy thing possible for you. But
let's go. Okay, cream soda is so good, and like you're either on one side or the other with that stuff. Like I don't know. I love cream soda, but every time I've like met someone who doesn't like cream soda, they hate it. They're like, I despise cream soda. So
yeah, that is true. That is true. But John knows this. Like, anytime I travel anywhere, like when I went to New York, I was like, I need to find like a cream soda that I haven't tried before. That's just like a weird thing.
Have you had Sturts? Stewart's comes in like a glass bottle with the old school like cap.
The pop top.
Yeah.
This is what you were telling me about, right? And then you ended up not.
Yeah, they got the classic cream, and then they got the orange sickle.
But that's the thing. I like the cream sodas. I don't care for the orange cream soda. I did.
Get rid of him. Get him all.
That's where you're wrong. Yeah, no. You're canceled.
He also claimed that New Jersey pizza was better than New York. So
I haven't had New Jersey pizza. It's not true. You're making false claims on camera. A girl that I no, you know what? No. Anyway, I relayed that information to you. Okay, I haven't. Besides, I haven't actually had New York pizza. Mine was like from Connecticut or some shit. I'm still actually gotta go to the city. So
you told me you had it on good authority.
Yeah, but like. Anywho, so
all right. So how long have you been training now? I believe it's like somewhere like 2 years, right?
Not less than 2 years. Let's see. I started December. I want to say December of 20. Oh my God, what year is it? It's 2026. So December of 2024. So that's like a year and. Don't mind me counting my fingers. 8 months. Year and 8 months.
What got you started into it? Because like for a lot of people, like it's either self-defense. It's like I gotta, I want to need something to do in my free time.
Mm-hmm.
What was your vibe?
Yeah, funny. It was actually my ex that brought me into my first class. So he's a blue belt. He's a competitor in the community. Yeah, I don't know, like when we first started talking, he was like, hey, you should, like come, this is like what I do with my free time, you should come try it out. And so during that time in my life, because I had just moved to the East Coast, I was like in a time where I was, like trying new things, doing things that were like, new and scary to, try and kickstart like just development, progression as a person, right? Get yourself out of your comfort zone kind of thing. So that was like part of the reason why I had like moved to the East Coast as a whole. But yeah, he had said that, and I had never done that before. In fact, I was not even an athlete at all growing up. That was never my thing. I've always kind of said, like, if you see me like running, it's because something's chasing me. It's not because I want to be doing that. Like, that's just, athletic endeavors were never my thing.
So what was that first like experience like walking in the doors from someone who's never done a sport?
It was, it was really cool. I did gymnastics for like a little bit, but it was literally just to like fit in when I was like 9. Like I just wanted friends, but I didn't actually like want to be there. But yeah, so I was really cool. I got to like see things being demonstrated, whatnot. And the funny story, actually, the first time that I did jiu-jitsu, I went to a gi class. And I obviously did not own a gi, so I did gi and no gi, which I don't know who had the advantage there, because I was in like no gi attire. But yeah, I don't know. It was really fun, and I found myself not only like understanding it, but like just I picked it up very fast. And I kind of like, understanding the concept of jiu-jitsu, like it is it takes time. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say like I get jiu-jitsu, like I know, I understand it. I think that's, probably a decade down the line. But I understood, like, the concept of it. It made sense in my head. I was picking it up very fast. I was doing the moves. I was, just, it was fun. It was like, they say it's like human chess, right? Like it's a puzzle in your head. And I love any sort of like intellectual endeavor. So that being mixed with like something active, right? Like physically active, you're getting endorphins and you're using your brain at the same time, it was something I had never experienced before, and it was really, really fun. So I kind of fell in love with it from the get-go.
You mentioned it was you felt like it was an intellectual sport. Did you feel like it was one of those things that kind of oh shit, my brain just fucking had a huge fart there. Woo. Try to recollect my thought there. Sorry, give me a second.
No, you're good. Take your time.
Did it fit like coming from like no sports to like going to the sports, did you find like a fulfillment in like the physical and the intellectual that maybe wasn't there before?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I had never done a sport before, so I had never really like connected the intellectual side of myself to a more athletic side, kind of like a brain body connection in that way. I had never, gone throughout that process in my head before, so that was very new. And yeah, also, I mean, it showed me like, oh, hey, actually, I might be decent at things like athleticism, related stuff. Like maybe I'm, not as much of like a chud as I thought I was, and I can actually like do things.
That's a whole vibe. I get that. I get that.
Which I'm still a chud. I just like do jiu-jitsu now.
So were you like a gamer? Were you like the artsy type theater? Were you what background were you coming from beforehand?
Yeah, I mean, I game still. I wouldn't have like necessarily labeled myself as a gamer. It's just like something I do for fun. But for sure, the artistic type, like I've been an artist my whole life. I was doing like realism, portraits when I was like 8. So I've always just had like a pretty natural gift and an inclination towards things of art and literature. I was like a wallflower. I was just like the weird kid in school who like sat, like in the corner and just was like nose deep in a book or like, a drawing pad or something like that. So that was kind of always, yeah, like my thing. I didn't.
You say
Yeah.
you say realism. Can you explain for the viewers who might not be familiar what that is?
Yeah, that's just like I can look at someone's face and I can draw it, for example. Like I can look at things and I can like virtually copy it onto a piece of paper, like pretty, like very like real, like it looks real on the paper. You know, I've seen like those paintings or drawings of people's eyes closed up, and like it looks like a photograph, but they, you know,
Yeah,
made it with
a
like I
lot
can
of
do
shade,
like I do stuff like that.
a lot of shading
Yeah,
and stuff
yeah.
like that. Okay, okay.
Details.
I always got into Salvador Dali stuff and the trippy surrealism. I like the double layered
So
images
funny
and
you
stuff.
say that because I literally have a book on my.
Ah,
Yeah, he's one of my favorites. So that's surrealism, right? So it's the opposite of realism. So it's like, you know, you're not gonna see like this weirdness like in real life, like abstract.
nah, yeah, no, it's cool. I like the surrealism because like if you look at it long enough, there's always a second image there. It's kind of like those
Yeah.
little books they used to have in like middle school and shit, where like if you looked at it, you looked at weird, like eventually like you see like an image or something hidden behind all the little pixels. I never got the image though. I could never figure that shit
Are
out.
you talking about Magic Eye?
Maybe, I don't know.
Like
No idea.
the one where it's like it's weird like dots, like it looks like static or just like weird patterns, but if you like unfocus your eyes, something pops out. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
I was so good at those. I could do it. Those were my favorite. I've actually been like trying to look. That's so funny. I've been trying to look for those. God, those are so fun. Yeah, those are always fun.
Did you so do you think of like jiu-jitsu as an art, kind of like how you think of like your painting or your drawing?
That is a really that's a really good question. That's a great question. So I do now. But this was like a really that's such a good question. That kind of pertains to like a pretty pivotal moment, I guess, like in my life, but especially, you know, related to grappling. So I do think of it now as like an artistic practice, right? Like it's a martial art. I like to think of it. Sometimes I'll call it like I'm ballet dancing. You know, I try to, but before, I would say like probably last year, and even up to like maybe 6 months ago, I didn't see it like that. I actually really struggled with this. So jiu-jitsu, like especially with the amount that I try to train and study outside of the training room, and just how much time I give to the sport. Like it's a lot when you want to be good at this. Like you dedicate a huge chunk of your life, and there have been times where that has felt really, really good to me. It's like it's fulfilling. It's I get to dedicate my time to being better at something, and I reap the benefits from it, whether that's like I have the opportunity to meet cool people, or just moving my body, right? um as much as like I can recognize that, I struggled with this because with dedicating so much time to it, I'd also have periods where like I kind of didn't want to grapple anymore because I was losing other bits and pieces of my life and almost what felt like myself to jiu-jitsu. Like it genuinely felt like that to me. Like how I was talking about the art, right? Art has been an insanely integral just part of me since I was a kid. And I wasn't creating anymore. Like I was spending so much time training and recovering and competing and recovering some more that like I had noticed I had gone like 5-6 months without making like a single piece of art. And art is also like that's something that takes brain power, but with jujitsu and work and everything in between, like I didn't have enough to pursue a passion that I've had since I was a kid. And that was really tough for me. That and like
What did
I'm
you
also
find? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. What did you
no
find to
you're
be the greater expression of the self? Because, like, I mean, a lot of art, like specifically artists, describe the art they make as an expression of the inner, monologue or mind. Do you think jujitsu is a greater representation, or do you think the pen is?
of what's like inside.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know.
Bro,
I guess
what the fuck
I
is
don't know.
you
I've
getting all
never.
philosophical and shit on here, dude? I'm sitting there like quiet as shit, like,
Well, we
and
got
he's got me like in deep fucking thought. Like, who are you? Like,
Yeah.
fucking
Well, I don't know.
creation mode.
Can you elaborate a little bit like on that question?
All right, so
I
like,
don't. Yeah.
from my understanding, most people who I know who get into art or can have kind of like that deep emotion or
Yeah.
internal thought process that allows them to kind of depict certain like visual. It seems to be like a thing that goes hand in hand. For jujitsu or martial arts, I feel like the way someone fights is a representation of their character or individual. Certain people are more aggressive, certain people are more reserved. What do you think is a greater representation of the self? The physical art, like the pen, or the martial art? Someone that's just as someone who's done both. Doesn't have to be like super technical or philosophical,
Yeah.
but
I would honestly say that they're pretty equal in different ways. I think if we're like talking about or paying attention to like the reflection of, whatever it is about you and how that's being shown, through regular art or, martial arts, for me at least, like I guess it feels like it's different parts of myself. So my actual art, drawing, painting, I would say that whatever comes out is usually things that are repressed or suppressed, things that I don't normally express, or maybe I'm scared to express, like in my day to day, like that is why art has always been an outlet for me. It's because there is a lot, we're human. There's a lot that goes on inside and internally that we don't externalize, we don't talk about. So that has always been an outlet for me to, express that and get it out there in a way that feels good. Martial arts is kind of, yeah, kind of like you said, it's more of like an expression of the true self, or maybe parts of myself that I'm like not noticing, or like not aware of, especially jujitsu. I think this makes you keenly aware of like traits about yourself that like you just don't know kind of exist or you don't pay attention to. For example, like um a hurdle that I've had to kind of learn to overcome in jujitsu, and I'm still
you beat me to the question.
learning. Yeah, I'm still. See, I got to bring my brain here. I A big hurdle that I've had to overcome in jujitsu, and there have been many, but in this instance, or like contextually, I guess, one has been I am not aggressive enough. I, like in training, and obviously you shouldn't go like ape shit on people in training, but like even then I kind of still let people, kind of walk all over me, or, if they're new to the class, like, I'm, even if they've like practiced before, I'm like, oh, you're in a new space, like you don't know anyone, so I'm gonna let you, like, like not let them, but I'm just like not gonna do as much as I would to someone that I'm already familiar with. But then oddly enough, I'll roll with people that I also do know, and I'm like, well, you're my friend and I like you, so like I don't want to hurt you. So just like in every space, like I find myself being a people pleaser essentially. And
But if you
I
can't
didn't
hurt your friends, who can you hurt?
I did no one. Why would I want to do that? I don't know.
Competition. You can hurt the competition.
Even then, though, like I've ran into issues where I'm still people pleasing in comp because I'm like, oh, like she looks really nice, and like, like I want to be friends with, and like I've gotten better at this, but like it is very much still a struggle, especially as a woman. Like, we're raised in a way to like kind of cater emotionally, or sometimes physically if you're in a super traditional household, whatever. But like this is something that is engraved into women from like a very young age, and it absolutely comes out in jiu-jitsu, and I didn't realize how much the people pleasing was like a part of me. Like I knew I had some habits before, but I didn't realize how much it was happening inside until I was doing jiu-jitsu. And I'm like, okay, well now you're like literally doing like mock homicide and you're still people pleasing. So like this is probably something that like you need to address.
Has
But yeah, I guess.
Has there been a way of that you, or a technique or anything you've done to kind of help you be more assertive when you're training?
There's a couple of different methods that I've tried. Yeah. One is therapy, which I do attend. Two is I'll try to like hype myself up before class, whatever. Like it's a lot of cheap keef before I'm like training, or especially competing. I have like I have specific songs that I play every time that kind of get me into like a semi murderous mood, but like definitely not too bad.
Oh no, I know the vibe. I have my own, I have a playlist that I play that includes some hateful messages from people occasionally, and some other things that I just kind of run through, and like it gets me in the mood.
But I just want to be clear. I just to run it back. So your recommendation for the two things that somebody can do to be more aggressive is Chief Keef and therapy.
Damn right.
Because that's some of the between that and describing jiu-jitsu as mock homicide.
By therapy, she means strangle a motherfucker in jiu-jitsu class. Yeah,
we need to like recommend this video to like, anybody who's like, if you're starting jiu-jitsu, the 5 things you need to know. But like, or we're just gonna that's when we need to highlight this video, John. Run it up. Mock homicide. Like, that's yes. Okay. So.
Oh God.
Okay, so now
the third is when I'm actually training, I'll try and put myself into a headspace where I pretend mentally that I'm actually being murdered, and then that really helps too.
No, that's a legit thing. That's a legit thing. Like, I mean, like if you've been through a couple rules, like visualization is a big thing. It's also good too if you've been because. You have to have both, right? You have to learn how to be aggressive in training, because if you don't, you're going to get like murdered in competition. But at the same time, like it's a lot for somebody new to like feel comfortable being aggressive to somebody else. And you don't know how you're going to be taken, and what the reply is going to be, especially when you're going into like a gym where like you're new and you know everybody in there is better. So like, what would you say was the biggest thing that helped you adjust, like first walking into the gym? Like what was the biggest thing you think helped adjust to that environment?
honestly, it just took time, and it took like just attempting to, I don't know, everyone is different, right? Like with, you know, what makes them comfortable and like how they feel comfortable. So there's a lot of people who don't really want to like sit there and have, you know, like conversations with their teammates. It's like they're in to train and, you know, get it done, and then it's like, okay, we like move on. I'm gonna go home and make dinner. For me, like that's difficult for me. In order to feel comfortable in a space, I need to know who I'm with and around, and I need to have like connections. I need to have friends. So I made that like a, you know, that was a big part of it, was just like really talking to these people, like getting an idea, you know, like my classmates, my peers, whatever, talking to them, getting an idea for like who they are as an individual. You know, like a vibe check, a radar kind of situation where I could then be like, okay, like now I know when I come in, like these are people that I'm friends with and I enjoy. Like that made me want to be there. That made me more comfortable. It's, you know, I can come in and I know I'm gonna have like some sort of positive interaction as a whole, right? Which I think is very important when you're doing jiu-jitsu, because it's not a comfortable sport. Like the whole time you're doing it, it's uncomfortable. So you have to have like some sort of moment in that training session time where like you're having a positive interaction. It's like it's the brain's reward system, right? If you don't have any reward, like on a, you know, like a neuroscientific level, your brain isn't going to want to do that. If there's nothing positive, if there's, you know, no outcome that benefits you, that you can see tangibly, you're not going to want to keep showing up. So it's just about creating that, and I think that looks different for everybody, but for me, yeah, it's being comfortable with people.
Have you had any bad experiences at a jiu-jitsu gym?
Sorry, what? Your audio cut out weird for a second.
Sorry, my audio's crap here. So have you had any bad experiences at a jiu-jitsu gym yet?
Bad experiences? I've had less than ideal experiences for sure.
Any good stories?
For some reason, the audio is like being really weird for me. I hope my AirPods aren't dying. I want to get it. Hold on. It's really fine.
Jeremy, give me a wacky story from a gym you visited.
A wacky story from a gym I visited?
Hold on, I'm going to switch to a headset.
No, that's cool. Okay, so John, you just want me to distract the camera with a whack story from a gym I visited? There was no whack story. There was a really funny story that I'm thinking of. I remember one of the first, and this was one of the first times that I went to. I ain't gonna say the name of the gym, but it's from my hometown. But man, it was a good story, man. So this guy came in, and I remember seeing this guy came in that looked like he was a little bit on the preppy side, and you could tell he was really cocky, and you could tell by his movements when he was sparring that he didn't he wanted to push it with somebody. Like he thought he was that guy, but he was being really picky about who he was going with, right? And he went around the room a couple times. You could just tell by his body language something was fitting to happen, but you just couldn't tell when. Man, he went with this girl, this girl named Raven. And Raven, I guess he thought that because she was a girl, he could try to amp it up a little bit. Bruh, I watched this girl pick this man up over her head and dump him on that floor and just unleash ground and pound. And it was one of the funniest things I've ever it's one of those things about those amateur gyms and local gyms though, generally that disrespect and stuff, they're not if she hadn't handled that, somebody would have. You know what I mean? There's a sense of honor code generally among fighters. Until you get into interpersonal politics and shit, I think is when gyms get into goofy stuff. But I think there's a general code of conduct that most fighters try to follow when you're training.
Speaking of code of conduct, can you hear us? Have you
Cool.
you train we've been talking about jiu-jitsu here for a minute. You train over at 10th Planet. I know for a fact they have some elite tier jiu-jitsu over specifically in New York City. I mean, between Ray, I know he's been on UFC Fight Pass. I know CC's been on UFC Fight Pass. You guys have a few UFC fighters that pass through there regularly. What has that experience been like training as a newbie and having the opportunity to be around elite tier athletes constantly?
I honestly I don't really place a whole lot of focus on like them being elite really at all. It's kind of, I don't know. I don't really think about that very much. They're just, I just love being there. I mean, you can definitely tell like through their grappling that they're some of the best that there is for sure. I mean, Ray, like every time I roll with him, it's like he's doing black magic on me. Like it's just it's insane. I haven't had very many opportunities to roll with Cece. I did like once or twice. Yeah, it was hell on earth. Like she just, her pressure is absolutely insane. Which is so honestly really inspiring to me because like, you know, she's more on the petite side. But when she's grappling, like if I was blindfolded, like might as well be a 280 pounds, you know, individual. The amount of pressure that she places. So obviously, like I can tell that they're very good through that, but yeah, I mean we've had a lot of guests at the school. They've been pretty cool.
Has anything
A lot of my teammates are very talented. Sorry?
Has anyone stood like any of the guests stood out to you? Like whether it's a lesson or something?
No, but also I haven't really been there for like a lot of them. I don't. So I train at like CULTR too. So I'm usually like I train at Jersey, or I train in Jersey like 3 to 4 days a week. I'm at 10th Planet like Tuesdays and Fridays, which I'm actually I'm gonna be there like full time now, like soon enough. I'm planning on being at that school full time because it's just, I love that gym so much. Like I could actually talk about it for just eons. No, well, CULTR is great too, but 10th Planet is just hands down.
It was one. So 10th Planet in New York City, when I was doing the 9+1 for the New York City Marathon, I would regularly stop in the train there. I had the opportunity to do the Mieo Brothers seminar. I think I took a class under CC. I did a class under Ray, and I did a class with Jarbem when he was still teaching there.
Okay.
And that's actually how I ran into Alex at the time, which is funny because that's how I ended up at Chronic as well. No, I love that place. I love it. The first time I went there though, like I was like, what the hell is this with this skinny ass stairway? I was like, am I even in the right place? Am I about to get robbed? What the fuck is this shit?
I know, because it's at like the top level, and like the two things beneath it are like a hair salon and like a massage spa that's like they're not doing. They're not.
It's like it's
if you know, yeah.
I feel like you're going up those stairs, you're gonna get pulled into one of those rooms.
God, I fell asleep in the hallway there the other day, and I woke up and I thought I was in like a parallel universe for a second. I was
End
like
up
really
in the back rooms.
Yeah, no, yes, it feels like the back rooms, yeah. But no, yeah, it's so good. I've had like the opportunity to cross train at like a lot of different gyms in the area, and hands down, man, 10th Planet NYC is just it's not everyone's cup of tea, but for me it works so well. I love that space so much.
No, the vibe there is on point. And like you say, you're gonna walk in there, you're gonna be like, but you stay a little bit. It's
just, it's laid back, it's chillax. Like, you don't feel, sometimes it's harder for me because I'm a bit of a degenerate, to like be in gyms that are kind of more like clean cut.
Isn't that like prerequisite for 10th Planet though?
Yeah, they screen you when you walk up the stairs.
They'll look at you like, no, you don't belong here.
So what would you say it is about 10th Planet that really separates it from like a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, like Gracie school? Like because I mean that's where most people, like the casual who knows a little bit about it, they know it's like 10th Planet and Gracie. Like 10th Planet, does that have more of like a wrestling base generally, right? Like more of like
you even
wrestling,
bro?
I don't. You already know, dude. My grappling is shit. Did you like? That's what I'm asking. I'm curious.
Bro, I'll put you in the lockdown.
John, don't you start with me. I'm gonna make you drink some of that river water out there.
Listen, don't threaten me with Beavis Fevis. I love Beavis Fevis.
Beavis Fevis?
That's the river water. The Gaudia.
We're talking about drinking river water, and Tarnia still got her like Red Bull just like on standby.
It's like basically the same thing.
What are we getting
healthier?
Like I said, I mean, the Dr. Pepper cream soda is probably not like, if I'm on the Athletics podcast, I could probably be drinking like a nutrition drink or some shit, or like, I don't know, some like vitamin water, but no.
You're good. I always have to have like a triple situation. You gotta have like 3 drinks on you at one time. Otherwise, no.
There's probably like 3 cream soda cans laying around here, if that counts.
Yeah, switch to the water of life, bro. Sure. Bean water.
Hey, okay. Coconut water, though. How much is that like? Well, what are the nutritional benefits of coconut water? I don't know.
Saturated fat.
Huh?
Saturated fat.
Saturated fat. I don't
it's
know.
It's also very naturally potent in like potassium, which is an electrolyte. So I don't really use like electrolyte powders and stuff like around training, just in general. Like coconut water is my thing. I probably go through like an entire like case of Vita Coco like in 3-4 days. I have a post on Instagram where I'm like holding one and I'm like, Vita Coco, please sponsor me, because I consume so much Vita Coco. It's concerning. I wonder if I get like a tattoo, you think they'll like put me on a PR list? I would do that.
Yo, send them a message. Be like, yo, will you send me a lifetime if I get a tattoo?
That would
be
so
good. We're gonna log on and like
you just send them an email. Be like, yo, I got this idea. Here's the idea. Like, here's the proposal. Here's what the tattoo will look like. I drink the shit. Send it to me. We're working on a Ghost. We're working on a Ghost sponsorship. Jeremy's gonna get a tattoo of Ghost right across his forehead.
On my forehead, that's just hamburgers. What do you mean?
Wait, what's up? Great. You'll just have to wear that hat all the time.
Wait, I missed something. I think the audio cut out there slightly. I heard my Ghost, and then I heard something about the hat, and I was like, "Wait, what?"
We're gonna pay to have a tattoo of Ghost like supplements on your forehead so that we can get the drinks provided.
Bro, have you ever had the protein powder though?
Yeah, no, dude.
It's fire. Like people talk about their energy drinks. I remember, like, I'm sure I've probably said this on the podcast before, but when I worked at GNC in Colorado, I worked there when they did the Oreo deal and they dropped the Ghost Oreo shit. Dude, they sold out like that whole town in like 3 hours. The second we dropped, every GNC in the area was bought out. It was stupid. Like, and they've always got some crazy new, like, and I'm sure there's probably some big MMA organization that they're in with too. I'm sure it's not the UFC, but it's got to be something, right? Don't look this shit up.
Something.
Oh God! What am I
Speaking of
computer just did?
We're on 45 minutes. You guys feeling like trivia? I got trivia. Hold on. I got something.
Sure.
Hold on. Where is it? I almost forgot last
Is
time.
this am I answering things? Are you like testing my knowledge?
Yes.
Ma'am. Jeremy's gonna ask you multiple choice questions. We have several on the board already. I might pull up one more. I feel like tonight's a 4 night for some reason. Let me see what I got here. I got a couple saved. Oh, I gotta lean over. I don't want to lean up. I can feel 40 creeping up on me. Let's see. I don't know if I got any good ones. You said you're a gamer? You're an old school gamer?
Old school? Wait, what does that entail?
I don't know. Like how far back you go? You go Xbox, Sony, Sega, Atari. How far back you played?
I don't know. When I was a kid, I used to have like a Namco, which was like this little like plug-in that you could put on your TV and had like the joystick. So I put like Galactica and like Dig Dug, obviously Pac-Man. If that counts as like old school, but no, what I play now is mostly like open world RPGs, and like shooters. So like I don't know, Apex is like a big one.
Jeremy said Morrowind sucks, just so you know.
I know. What are you talking about? I'm in another Baldur's Gate playthrough right now. I don't even know what Morrowind is until I get through Act 3. Okay, so what's your favorite? We'd say Apex is your favorite, or like big shooters?
Yeah, I would probably say Apex. I mean, I played a lot of Call of Duty too, but I don't know. When they got rid of Rebirth, I just kind of like I hated that so much.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And Cold War was not good. I'm sorry. Like this might be a controversial opinion, but like Cold War was just not. I was not it.
So a lot of people get salty with me when I say this, but like I did not get into Call of Duty until Warzone was a thing. Like I just at that point it was like right around COVID. I had a PC. It was cross-platform. I could play with my friends. Everybody was fucking locked down. But I think it was right before that because it was like it was the first season 2 before they started before they rebooted everything and all that. And
this guy's got the right fucking idea. The fruity cereal for win.
Fruity cereal is my favorite. Hey, okay.
Oh, that's Sam. What's up, Sam? Sorry, that's like my friggin' best friend right there. So
okay.
Woo, shout out Sam.
Another fun fact that I did not know this until I was doing side research while you were trying to find trivia questions. I've been rambling on about Dr. Pepper cream soda and Ghost. I did not know that Ghost was owned by Dr. Pepper.
Wait, what?
Ghost is owned by Dr. Pepper. I just looked it up. I swear to God.
Do you remember the news story?
I don't know why that's a thing.
Every time you bring up Dr. Pepper, I think of that old lady who told people that all she drank was Dr. Pepper and she lived to like 99 or some shit.
I mean, it probably put some pep in your step, bro. Like, everybody got that. No, it was good.
All right, I put 4 trivia on the board. I threw in an open world RPG questions in there. Cold War was in fact ass. I don't know who that is, but I'm proud to say I've never owned a single fucking Call of Duty game.
Really?
Yeah. What are you over here? Are you still playing?
Tom Clancy for the win, brother. Tom Clancy all day.
Yeah, but you say that, but like you're playing the one from like 1998.
Yeah, well, shit happens. What are you gonna do? Classics win, man.
You're right. I mean, maybe.
All right, let's
do we're getting on the whole side rant. All right, so I'm gonna be your little trivia co-host or I guess I'm the trivia host now. That's gonna be give you. How many questions did you say there were? 4?
Yes, sir.
All right, we're gonna get started. It's pretty simple. I'm just gonna list off the answers. You're gonna tell us. It's gonna be great. You're gonna get all of them right, and then John's gonna be like, "Oh, okay." John, hit it off. All right, at the 2003 ADCC tournament, Eddie Bravo scored his famous submission victory over which member of the Gracie family? Euler, Hoyce, or Roger?
It's A, right? Really? It's not, no. Yes? Yes. I'm gonna go with
I
A.
believe, yes, A was the correct answer. Got it. All right. Well, that's one down. You're going to get all four of these right. It's going to be epic. Question number 2. 3 of these appear as real titles in 10th Planet's official technique library. Which one did we make up? Jailbreak, Deathbed Flow, or Times Square Traffic Guard?
There's literally no way that it's not C. That can't be a thing.
Yeah, okay, I was about to say, John, that's...
Okay.
If it was, that would have been diabolical. That would be a pretty wild...
I don't even... What would that even look like? I'm, like, trying to, like, envision that. I don't even... What? Traffic guard?
Would it just be like super crowded, so they're like all the way up on your knees, I guess? Like, it would definitely wouldn't be like a full guard.
Oh shoot, I can't hear anything again.
Oh,
okay.
You
know what? I'm gonna, yep.
Okay.
Hold on.
Paused it.
You're good. I'm gonna do a thing.
Don't you put me on camera. Take me off. What do you think this is? This is an MMA Brain advertisement. Guys, if you are not tuning in on Mondays and Thursdays, you should be, because JMA here on JMA, we are bringing you the best UFC news and updates Mondays and Thursdays. We're going over the next event. We're going over the last event. And we're telling you about all the weird, wild news and drama that came out in between. So, guys, if you haven't, like, subscribe, and follow JMurrayAthletics. Going back. All right, and I'm trying to think of something else to distractedly tell the camera. Something about, I don't know, John. Hey, John, who's your picks for this weekend?
Is Armin fighting? I know you love Armin.
You're so funny. I don't even know who. Anthony Hernandez and Gregory Rodriguez are fighting.
Hernandez.
Interesting.
I don't know his record.
Oh, Umar is fighting in a couple weeks against Song Yadong. That'll be a good one. Can't wait for him to hold Song into a decision. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I still expected Song to give O'Malley a harder fight than he did. I thought that he was gonna, but then again, I'm a Kung Fu fanboy, so. Yeah.
All right, we ready for the next one?
I think so.
All right, bet.
We're good.
All right, question number 3. Which is the largest borough in New York City by land area? Manhattan, Queens, or Bronx?
It's gotta be Queens.
Tanya's going B, Queens. All right. Right, you've gone 3 out of 4 so far. You are killing it. So I don't think we've actually had anybody ace this trivia in a couple episodes now. All right. Which company originally partnered with Sony?
I lost audio again. I don't know what technology is doing at the moment. I'm gonna switch to my super nerdy headset.
You're all good. Give yourself a minute.
You're totally fine. I mean, we have all kinds of wild technical and audio difficulties here on the JMA Podcast. It's part of the fun, honestly.
Jeremy, have you been training?
Fuck no.
How's Pierce doing?
I don't know.
Is he still wilding out?
I don't know.
How'd your brother's interview go with the commission?
I don't know. I'm not talking about any of my close friends or their relations or interpersonal things on this podcast.
But those are all guests on the podcast.
I know, but I don't care. Not talking about it.
Go check out their episodes. Definitely go check out Michael's interview with what the hell is his name? Joey Hernandez? Was it Joey? Joey something.
It was Joey.
Oh, that boy had sweet poetry, just like Chael.
Yeah, you're funny. It's Joey Henderson. You goofing asshole.
I wasn't joking. I asked Joey to come on the podcast.
I know. I know. I like Joey too. You just got his name wrong. It's Joey Henderson.
I also want to get Zachary Utterbeck on here as well.
Yeah, Zach's been. I mean, he's been one of the bigger fans we've had on there for a little bit. He was just posting the other day about wanting to fight in another state more or something like that. But I mean, honestly, if we're talking about the local scene, time out. Wait a second. Put me back on because there's one thing I need to mention. Guys, LFA is going to be in Clarksville here in like 2 weeks. Jared Gonzalez, I did an exclusive interview with him. He's been on the podcast. I believe he's been on the podcast. I know we've done an exclusive interview. I know that why do we have the MMA brain thing on? This is a JMA podcast episode. Get that shit out of here. Okay. And like, Jared's doing his LFA, his pro debut. I'm going to be going in person. It'll be the biggest venue I've ever actually attended. I'm really excited for it. It's going to be a great fight. So guys, if you want to go see some really good fights, like some professional fights,
Jeremy's going to scare some professional fighters.
You're so funny. Jared's fought nobody but killers like his entire amateur career. I mean, it's like top regional guy, top national guy. So it's going to be really cool. And we're going to be putting out, I'll put a little episode out about my experience like going to the LFA as a fan for the first time. So that'll be pretty cool. Tarnia, have you been to any like big like MMA events or anything like in person? Is that something that you would want to do?
I went to Misfits boxing.
Okay. No, that's pretty dope.
Wait, yeah, was Tate there?
Who?
Andrew got arrested.
Andrew? Thank God he wasn't. No.
I think he owns part of it.
I don't know. Does he own? Was it him or Jake Paul that was in? Who owns? Hold up, Misfits Boxing. Why is that?
It's Tate. I'm 90% sure it's Tate because he got beat by his own champion. He got his ass kicked. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, Misfits Boxing. You're goofy, John. You're just gonna. Okay, no, I'll shut up.
I ain't goofy.
It says Misfits Boxing.
I ain't goofy.
Okay, according to the AI interview at the top of Google. Okay, so I mean, I'm not gonna fucking take 30 minutes to fact check it. It says Misfits Boxing was founded by internet personality KSI, his manager Mams Taylor, and boxing promoters Kel and Nis Sarland. However, while KSI remains an equity partner, controversial influencer Andrew Tate was appointed CEO of the promotion, with Mams Taylor serving as co-president and promoter. I did not know that. Interesting. Well, we've already given him more camera time than I want to, so fuck him. What were we?
Question 4 or 5.
Yeah, that was just a completely dumb side off rant. Question number 4. Yeah, for the trivia, we do have one more question. Okay.
It was cool. I will say, when I did go to that boxing event, I went to that boxing event and Krishan Rock was there and she was like screaming because like I think her like boyfriend or something was like fighting in the event. And so like I like hear yelling behind me and I'm like, I turn around, it's just Krishan was behind me. I'm like, oh, cool. That's so random. I don't know. Yeah. Anyways.
Are you used to that, like being in like the New York area? Do you just like, you talked about that a little bit before, but like the celebrity thing doesn't really like affect you as much, like.
Yeah, I don't know. They're just people at the end of the day. Like you or I could somehow just weirdly like end up famous, and that changes nothing about like your character, like your value as a person. You know, you're still you. They just happen to, have fame. I don't know. That was in LA though. When I went to that event, I was in Los Angeles.
I guess it's different. You're also in like these big cities and stuff. Like you're in New York, you're in LA. Like I'm in Paducah, Kentucky. So you have like a big celebrity here. Everybody's like, "What the shit?" But like running into some
Paducah.
Yeah. So like, okay, if you take the very tip of Kentucky, right? That's us. It's weird. We're like 20 minutes from the border of Illinois. It's so weird. Everybody like goes from Kentucky to go into Illinois because they have actually no, they don't do that anymore. They just changed the laws on that shit. But it used to go from Kentucky into Illinois because Illinois was the legal state. But now they flock you, but that's a whole nother fucking subject. But yeah, I think they just passed laws to where like it's legal. I think, I'm not a lawyer, don't fucking quote me, but I think it's like you can get medicinal in Kentucky, but because of that, you're not allowed to go into Illinois and get it. You have to stay. It's so fucking weird. They're doing that weird thing where they're trying to like, I guess, generate state revenue by telling people where they could shop. They'll figure it out in 10 years. But yeah, it's okay. Nobody knows where Paducah is. It's between Possum Trot and Monkey's Eyebrow.
You're good though, because I was raised in, like, before I moved over here, I'm actually from a really tiny town in Minnesota. I'm from the Midwest. Like, I'm talking like less than 1,500 people in this teeny tiny town. Like, we had like one grocery store, one gas station, like everyone knows each other kind of thing. Like, that's like,
That's Paducah.
No, but no, Paducah's bigger than that. You're being funny, but I do know what you're talking about because we do have some towns like that. Like, well, we got a town like Clinton right up, like it's like an hour from here. I mean, it's literally like you got the grocery store, the bank, the sheriff's office, and the courthouse, and there's like a third of the town right there. So yeah, no, I understand. Like,
don't forget
so like,
please.
But you said you moved from like that small town to the East Coast in order to like just like push your boundaries, like make yourself face your fears more. You're talking about that a little bit previously.
Yeah, so I was born in Minnesota. I was raised in that like really tiny town. I moved out when I was 18 to a different town up north, which still like pretty tiny. Yeah, I was living there, and then when I was 20, like just I needed a change. I could feel, I guess, probably my brain developing or something. But like I could just feel that I needed, something else. I'm young, I'm able-bodied. Like, I feel like I have more purpose than this. I was leading a very simple, ordinary life. And that was never really something that was appealing to me. Like people who grew up in these towns, like they're born there, they're raised there, they go to school there, they grow up there, they meet their, partner there, they get married, they raise their kids, and then like they die in the same towns. And like that simple, small life, like that works for a lot of people. That works for some people. I'll never, I'm not going to say like that's dumb, because it's not everyone's vibe. But like for me, yeah, I couldn't have that for myself.
Is that why you left Paducah to go to Colorado? The same vibe?
That's different. I went from Paducah to Colorado on 3 days' notice because a good friend of mine was from Colorado and said, "Fuck this tiny town, and you want to come with me?" And then all my friends. It was really weird because my boss and my family, and mainly my boss and my family were like.
He did the same shit.
Yeah, but the difference was I came back, and like I honestly, like I wasn't trying to make it. I was literally sitting there thinking, like, as I was listening to her talk about that. That's really interesting that you brought that up. I was like, man, like that is the same reason I left, but like I got pulled back into my hometown because like my dad's here, my mom's here, my two brothers are here. Like,
did you ever think about coming back? Or going back, or was it one of those things that once you were there, it was like, nah, this is it?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, now you're starting. You totally just addressed both of us back to back without me. Yeah, you're good.
Wait, me or you?
No, I don't care. No, he was talking about how I was the dumbass. I'm the dumbass that came back. He was asking if you ever had thoughts about going back.
I mean, of course, naturally, like I've faced like a ton of, I've had a lot of like struggles and hardships since I moved out here. And there have definitely been points where, I was really, really low, and I was like, all I want right now is like my family, like my mom, my grandparents, like someone, everything that I've ever known my entire life, it's all back in Minnesota. I live with my best friend, and like we went to high school together, but it's not the same. You miss your family. This is something that you had for, ages. And like I'm growing, and I'm developing into whoever I am as an adult, and like that process is so difficult as it is, and especially like being away from a support system that you have for 20 years. It's insanely difficult. I've I've thought about it. I've conceptualized in my head, going back, like, this is hard, and like whatever I'm going through, like this is really, really rough. Like, maybe I'm not cut out for this. Maybe I'm not meant for this. Maybe I'm biting off more than I can chew with everything that I have going on. But I ended up chewing it, man. Yeah, a lot.
What has been the biggest driver for you?
What?
The biggest driver for what, like staying?
Yeah.
I have a lot to prove, to be honest. A lot of the time growing up, like I found myself in situations where I'm being told, like, you're not going to amount to anything, right? Like, so I struggled with my mental health a lot when I was younger, like really bad. Really, really, really bad. And with that, like, I fell into habits and around people that, I maybe shouldn't have been around. Which, granted, like, now that we've all grown up, those are some of the best people that I do know. But, at the time, like, I was going down like a really crappy path. I was flunking in school. Like, I was letting go of, my responsibilities. Like, I wasn't doing anything. And so, I would get lectured or told, like, if you keep doing this, like, you're going to be flipping burgers at McDonald's, blah, blah, blah. So, like, there's that, and just, like, that being internalized so hard, and also being told, like, you're probably just going to be here for the rest of your life, like, if you don't get your life together. I think I, like, mentioned this before, but, like, I'm quite an oppositional individual. Like, when someone tells me to, like, do something, like, I don't really want to do it, like, I reject authority kind of naturally and inherently. And so I was told that, and I'm like,
sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
Slight little joke, but can you tell me you have ADHD without saying it?
Oh no, I absolutely have ADHD.
Sorry, I have all the same traits, and so does Jeremy. So it's just
No, I was diagnosed when I was like 7, so it's been like my whole life.
It's interesting though, right? Like, so I can actually talk to you at this from a little bit of point of experience, because I literally did the exact same shit where it was my best friend from high school, hopped in his van with $400 in my pocket. I didn't even really know where the fuck I was going if I had a place to stay. Like, I went there, went door to door, like I was working at GNC and Wingstop at the same time, so I could get more hours at GNC. Like, but like, there's something freeing about that, right? Like, as shitty as it is, because you don't know like anybody. You don't know anybody. So like, when you're going to the store, there's no like, oh, I might run into this person from school. It's just like, it puts you into a different form of like self-perception, because you're not worried about like, you're not in a different frame. Like, people have different faces, right? A lot of times, or like, you're around, like, you have different people that you're around. Like, it's just you. Like, it's almost like a form of meditation. Would you say, like, how did you get used to that? Like, because you're talking about how you're super social, like, even when you're in the gym, like, it's hard for you to train and not like be more talkative, like, have somebody that you can actually like feel more comfortable coming in. Like, I know this person. So what was it like moving into a new town, not knowing anyone? How did you fill that space? Like,
yeah, the space of what, needing like interaction.
Well, I guess,
is that what you're asking?
I guess, like, did you? Well, it's more like, did you? I'm trying to think of. I was trying to figure out. I had it in my head, and I'm trying to figure out the right wording to. So, like,
do you enjoy like the adjustment period, or is that one of those parts that like's dreadful? Because you've gone from LA, which
that's what I want.
It's a major city, and then you've gone to New York. Like, there's a little bit of a chaos in there, and I feel like people with ADHD kind of thrive in that a little bit. Is that something that you vibe like found, like, like?
It's kind of, it's 50-50. So like it's funny because so another one of the drivers that I had to like continue living this life, other than like being told, like I might not amount to anything, was also I since I was very, very young, I've also had insane anxiety, like crazy anxiety. There was a point when I was 15 or 16 where I had so much anxiety and just like fear for the outside world that I was also very depressed at the time. I didn't leave my house. I didn't leave my room for like 3 months. And I'm like not even kidding. I borderline developed agoraphobia. I was just like in my bed in the dark, like sun not coming through the windows, whatever. The only time I was leaving my room was to get food or to use the bathroom, right? So like I've always had anxiety, and it's been really bad at a lot of points. And so like with that kind of being said, there's always going to be a smidgen of like the chaos is like it's freaking me out, like this is too much for me to handle. But because I have also put myself into anxious situations on purpose in order to learn how to deal with them, I reaped the benefits of that. Like if I hadn't had scared the crap out of myself in the first place, like I wouldn't be as far as I am now. And so like my brain knows that now, right? Like my brain knows like, okay, you do this scary thing, there is a reward at some point to like do the thing. So there's always like that for me. Like there's the anxiety, but there's also like the unknown. There's a fear of the unknown, and there's also like a wonder of the unknown. Because it's like you can look at something like, oh my God, like I don't know what's gonna happen, or you can look at something like, oh my God, I don't know what's gonna happen. It's like it's really, perspective is so important with that. And so adjusting it was difficult for me for sure, because I was still in a period of time where I was learning how to do that efficiently. But there was also like, okay, like I've been here for a couple months now and I'm trying to branch out, and like, yeah, it was really scary, but like I'm here, like I had a dream of, I traveled to New York City when I was like 13 for the first time. I fell in love with it. I was like, one day, like I'm gonna live here and like, I'm gonna do all these cool things. Like I loved this city so much. And life happened, and that reality kind of like slipped from my fingers a little bit. But eventually, like, I live in Jersey City, so it's like kind of the best of both worlds.
Oh, you're actually not in the city?
No, I'm in Jersey City, but
she knows the Jersey pizza is better than New York pizza.
I've never had Jersey pizza. I can't eat gluten or I'll get sick, so I can't. I have no.
I was totally. I know.
I'm so sorry.
Okay, and I will say this, because I totally gave you like word vomit soup earlier. What I was trying to say before I actually could get my thought out together was, do you think that being away from everybody that you knew, like that time period, and I think you just answered the question, but like, do you think that made you more in tune with yourself?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Absolutely. It shows you, like how much strength actually lies in you. And, on like a kind of like a scientific level, like neurologically, right? One of the best ways that you can, if you are overwhelmed with something, oddly enough, the best way to learn how to not be so overwhelmed is to actually put more on your plate. Because just like it's the same thing of like, like in a physical way. I forgot who it was. What is his name?
Like overload training
or something like that. Like there was some like famous professional like athlete fitness individual said like, when you're doing push-ups and you think you're like almost to failure, that you're only doing like a certain percentage of what you're actually capable of. And if you were to, like push forward and do 10 more push-ups, you will then show yourself like, oh, okay, I can actually do 10 more than I thought I could. And the same goes, in life. And like when you're, actually like trying to develop and explore the world, you put more on your plate, you prove to your biology basically that you are capable, and that the hurdle is a lot of the times more mental than anything else. And once you see that, and then you have, that's tangible evidence that you have a lot more power than you thought you did, it changes your life. It changes your entire perspective on on everything. It changes the way that you walk in the world. It changes the way that you interact, with everyone around you. So yeah, I mean, of course, the entire experience, like, it absolutely, it changed the foundation of really who I am. I from time to time, but actually yesterday I got a message from somebody that I went to high school with. And they had said, like, hey, I just wanted to, like, reach out to you and say that me and some other person we were talking about you last night, and I just wanted to let you know, like, we were talking about how far you've come from who you were, and it's true. It's a night and day difference, the kind of person I am now versus, even like 3-4 years ago, let alone like 6-7. Oh, it's hard.
You're all good. You're all good. It's crazy how, like, I've tried to, over the last few years, adopt more of a overload myself philosophy. Most people would say, take more time to relax and bring yourself down, but I found with, like, my ADHD that the more I overload myself, the more or the less anxious I feel, and the more I end up, like, being like less in my head, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I feel like that was the benefit of training and sparring for me, is like you don't have time to. That's the thing that's so awesome about, like, sparring, is like, yeah, you can have 1,000 things going in your mind in class, but when you've got somebody to, like, grappling was never really my thing.
It's forced overload.
Like, you got somebody trying to punch you in your face, and you do not have time to think about what pissed you off at work that day. Like, it's just a different.
Sorry. What's so looking back at yourself, like, from where you came from, what's one, if you could talk to, like, your younger self, sitting there with the anxiety, what's one piece of advice that you would give yourself looking back?
Oh God, one piece of advice. That girl needed advice everywhere. I guess, like, I would probably see, but the thing is like, this is something that I heard back then. Like, I realistically, like, if I could give the best piece of advice that was to actually jumpstart some sort of, like, real development and growth, it would be, like, do something scary every day, which is a philosophy that, like, I have taken on now, and, like, I do every single day. Like, I have to have one moment of fear every day. That's just a thing that I do. Like, I would tell her that, but the thing is like, she would not have listened. Honestly, to be completely honest, as much, like, pain and, like, just despair that I went through as a child and a young adult, I wouldn't change really any of it, because now I know as much as I do because of that, and I would be so much more, like, out of touch with myself, with everything else around me, if I hadn't had those experiences. So, I could give her that advice, but also, like, I would say I'm gonna just let her rock, for real. Like, I'm gonna just let her rock, because she's gonna figure it out. Maybe just believe, I guess, that she'll figure it out at some point. But I don't know. The butterfly effect it's real, man. Like, I wouldn't touch anything.
Nah, for sure. No, I feel that. There's
She
a lot.
really, like, took that question. That was dope, because, like, you just looked at that very three-dimensionally.
Like, I do that with most things.
That was interesting.
Thank you.
Well, John, what were you about to?
No, I was.
Man, we're up to an hour and 20 minutes, bro. This is the longest podcast episode we've done.
I told you I could yap for.
No, this was awesome. This was like very man.
You want to
John,
close it?
yeah, are we close? Is that what we're?
I don't know. If it like that, I mean, that was my last question. I wanted to end it on something deep. I figured.
Oh
that
yeah, you have the big fancy list. I'd be winging it and shit because I'd be sitting there trying to write the list and shit. Throws me off. On it, so, but man, Tarnia, you've been an awesome guest. Thank you so much for coming on. Is there anybody you really want to shout out? Any like your school teammate, anything like that? And some of your supporters, like whatever you want to do, your social media handle, whatever you want to shout out. This is your platform. Whoa, there we go.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know, shout out all my, actually, shout out my original, Jiu-Jitsu, gym that I started at, because, you know, I wouldn't be here, if it weren't for them, so shout out Chris at Mundo, who's my old coach, all my teammates there, Jamel, Vinny, miss you guys, shout out Tempe, obviously. Ray is like the best mentor. Shout out CC. All my teammates there too. I'm gonna shout out. Oh, he asked for this specifically. Alex.
Oh yeah, shout out
Alex.
Big shout out Alex.
Shout out Alex for being the best. Yeah. Shout out my family as well. I think a few of them are in there. My grandpa, Tom, my grandma Debbie, and my mom, I think, is in here somewhere. Maybe. I don't know.
I think we said we had a comment from a family member here somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere.
That wasn't it. There it is.
Oh yeah. Oh, yep. That's my grandfather. He's getting on my butt about. Aren't you gonna shout out? Are you gonna shout out your friend? Yes, I was getting there, Grandpa. Thank you.
Again, shout out Tom Nelson.
Shout out Tom Nelson.
Go follow him on Instagram.
Oh God. Shout out you guys though, because honestly, this was so much fun. I mean, the conversation like around this, it's virtually endless. There's so much to say. You know, every perspective is for a practitioner, it's unique and individual to themselves. So it's always nice being able to get that out there for sure.
That's one of the great things I think is great about this podcast is it allows athletes to be themselves. It allows them to open up, and it allows them to share to the community, you know, whether it's their team, you know, or whether it's it's just the competitive community or whatever at large. You know, I think we all have something to share and we all have something to learn from each other. I want to thank Jeremy for this idea. It was, you know, he said, why don't you get that co-host from the Chronic Combat on here? That's a great idea. I said, Jeremy, that's fantastic. All right, guys, without further ado, JMA Podcast. Peace.